Okay, people, welcome back to the Grow With Your podcast. I'm your host, Chukwumati Joseph, and as you know, this is a space where we explore fresh perspectives on spirituality, purpose, leadership, business, and technology. And we have a very special person in the building today. I'm with Miss Amarachi Anazodo,
Don't worry, very soon you'll be calling me that Mrs.
soon to be Mrs. I can't wait. Yeah, so Amarachi is redefining what it means to work smart in the digital age as an experienced administrative and executive virtual assistant with over 2 years of supporting CEOs and business professionals around the world. She knows what it takes to deliver excellence remotely. She's also the founder of Dat Virtual Assistant Gal, yeah, a platform dedicated to helping aspiring virtual assistants turn their skills into sustainable dollar earning freelance careers, right? Yeah. So in this episode, we'll dive deep into her inspiring journey, the lessons she has learned, and how to thrive as a virtual assistant, and and most importantly, what the future of remote work truly looks like. Yeah. When I was preparing for this episode, I was reflecting on how we got to meet.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a really amazing experience because we are the African Creators Conference.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking to network and take pictures, and Amarachi here was taking picture with her friend, and she asked me to help take picture of her and her
Yeah.
friend. And after taking the pictures, I also asked her to take picture of me as well. And after that picture, after the photo shoot, we got into a conversation where we got to know each other personally. We exchanged contacts. I know that connection has blossomed into this valuable relationship that we have today.
Indeed.
And I think that's the first lesson the audience will be taking home, the importance of stepping out of your
Your
comfort
comfort
zone.
zone.
And you are actually an advocate for that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if you don't go home with anything, and I believe you'll be going home with a lot of
A
things from this
lot.
conversation, you should know the importance that it is very important for you to step out of your comfort zone. Just
Very.
go out because when you step out, you get the opportunity to network with individuals. People that you wouldn't on a normal day get access to meet,
True.
and you also get to make a lot of friends. You get to know a lot of people. You get to also advertise yourself and what you do because you don't know who might be watching. You don't know where connections can come from. So it's very, very important to just step out and just go out there, get to experience culture. But then I would love to add that something happened. Something happened that made me decide to step out.
Okay.
You understand? Prior to this year, 2025, I wasn't really the outgoing person. I do go for comfort,
You
but
look
once
like
in
an
a
indoor
while,
person.
very, very much. Just me and my books. So I wasn't really the outgoing person, and then something happened, early on this year that just made me decide I need to step out, and it's actually something that I believe most people would have experienced at least once in their
Okay.
in their lifetime. Can you take a guess on what that experience was?
That made you step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Should I give you a
You
hint?
needed money.
No. Let me give you a hint. Um, last, a downcast.
Everybody go chop breakfast. Ah, you don't chop breakfast.
I'll tell you. So that was it. So that
Was
was
it
the
served
experience.
hot or cold?
In fact, it was served cold, but over time it now became hot. And I was in a relationship with this really amazing young woman. But then one
Mm.
day she just came up and said, "I think we need to take a break." And if a lady tells you we need to take a
Just
break,
know that it's over.
that's not well
No need.
because a woman really takes time to think over
Sure.
her decision. And from that moment when she said that, it just spiraled down till the relationship ended. And I was really committed to spending the rest of my life with this woman. I gave myself, all of myself, to her. So I was heartbroken. I was devastated. I got locked up. Someone that is kind of like an introvert. Imagine I was
Oh,
not extra introverted.
extra touch.
I'm telling you. So um, yeah, I locked myself in for a long, not necessarily locked myself in, but I was close. I was bottling in the
Yeah.
pressure, and I was feeling devastated, heartbroken, so many
Sure.
emotions going in my head. But then I decided I cannot keep keeping this pressure in. I need to go out and just release
Mm.
this pressure to the world. And I can remember on this particular day I went online to this website, I think Eventbrite,
Okay.
You know
I know of
Event?
Eventbrite, yes.
Yeah. So I went there and I just searched for all the upcoming conferences happening in Abuja for the rest of 2025 and just
Uh,
literally registered for all of them.
oh, that's why you've been attending all these conferences.
Every one of them. But not all of them were listed on Eventbrite though. There were some on other websites that were not listed, but
Yeah.
I kind of just went all the way in. I wanted to just go
Wow,
out.
that's a nice move.
Honestly, and it's has actually been a very amazing experience for me
Yeah.
because I've gotten to meet a lot of people, gotten to make a lot of friends. For the past 6 months, I've made well over 200 friends that we are actively
Yeah,
communicating and
communicating.
exchanging value between each other, and it wouldn't have happened if if the
Yeah.
pain had wasn't there. And so I
Mm,
think that's another lesson to take home from this. Pain doesn't have to be a cog in the wheel of progress. You can
yeah.
turn your pain to
Into
fuel.
something, yes.
Yes, you don't have to lock yourself in. It can inspire the next phase of your life. You can turn your pain. I think there's a painter who actually turned his pain into inspiration and became one
Mm,
of the greatest painters
yeah.
we know today. I can't really remember his name.
Can I also chip in something? Because you said something. You said that you met over 200 people that you are exchanging value.
Yeah.
So when we exchange contact, in my head, I was thinking, maybe it's one of those people that you just exchange contact. Because the truth is, most connections just end with contact. Nobody goes with the flow. Everybody just, waiting for. So, but when you started engaging actively with my phone, then I told my friend, the person you said, I was like, okay, this just looks like somebody that we're going to request for a long time. That was exactly what I said.
You see
And
that?
then you posted your podcast, and I watched. Oh, this is value packed. And yeah,
Yeah, thanks. So each time I go for a conference, that particular night is very, very tiresome for me because I have to go and start personalizing messages to each and every person I collected their contact. I don't
oh,
just go and send random message. I kind of personalize my
you
message.
didn't personalize for me. I'll go and check it.
Go and check it. So anytime I go for a conference, I always, I'm very, very intentional. I want to make friends because,
Mm,
even with the line of work I do, I actually need to get
yes,
more audience.
yes.
Yeah. And so I turned my pain to fuel.
You really did
Yeah. And
because
it's a roller coaster ride,
oh,
honestly. Yeah.
you really did though. Because look at you doing these amazing things from just 6 months.
I'm telling you.
Okay, imagine you had started earlier with this drive and force and
I
all.
believe we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, we do.
So thank you so much for taking our time to be
Thank you for
with
having
us
me.
today. Honestly, I'm really honored to have you here today.
Thank you for
So
having me.
let's dive right into the conversation. Just as I stated earlier, I've been to a lot of conferences, right? And one of the things I noticed is when I walk around to network, to get to meet people and
People,
introduce myself, what I do. So I notice like 70% of the time, the people I introduce myself to, they'll be like, okay, my name is this, and I'm a virtual
virtual
assistant.
assistant.
My name is this, and I'm a virtual assistant. And I would pretend that I know what virtual assistant is because I know what virtual is and I know what assistant is. But when you
Mm,
put those two words together, I have no idea. So when I got to meet you and then I saw your
mm,
portfolio, your really impressive portfolio, by the way, I was glad because finally here was the angel sent from heaven to come and help me understand what virtual assistant is, and
mm,
hopefully you'll be answering some of the questions that our audience might have had for a long time concerning
virtual
virtual
assistant.
assistant. So what I would love you to do is imagine with me that we have a toddler, let's say a 5-year-old or 7-year-old boy, and then we have a teenage young lady, maybe 17 or 19-year-old. I want you to explain in the language that the toddler would understand what virtual assistant
A
is
toddler. I think we
in
should
the
work with.
simplest basic form.
Okay, so
Or if that is difficult, then you can just go with the teenager.
the teenager, because I was referring to a toddler. Okay, so a toddler, I would just say is working online
Okay.
for a toddler because you have to explain so many things. So for a toddler, like it to be providing support online.
Okay.
It's virtual, so it's an online space, right? So for the teenager, it's providing professional business support to both professional bodies or businesses or individuals. So you are at the comfort of your home, remotely, of course,
Okay.
and someone reaches out to you. Now I'm giving an explanation, so even the toddler now gets to understand it.
Okay.
And you reach out to me to be your VA. There are a lot of things I can do, right? So
Okay.
I can handle your emails for you.
Okay.
So what you can do is give me access to your email or make me an admin and I handle your emails for you. But that's the list. So now giving that explanation, I would say it is providing professional support online remotely
Okay.
to your clients.
Wow. Wow. I think I can actually relate to this because my church where I fellowship at, I actually help handle the social media postings, on Instagram. Yeah, so I'm kind of signed into the account and I help post
That's a virtual
pictures.
assistant job too.
So except that mine is not remotely, right?
No, it's remote. You do it at the comfort of your home.
Okay, so virtually I'm a virtual assistant.
So the thing is, everybody, I don't want to exaggerate, right? But it's just working at the comfort of your home. So it's not, it's as simple as the name, virtual assistant. I'm providing you with assistance,
So whatsoever assistance what
assistance
I
in
need, as long as you
general,
are doing it, but virtual remotely.
remotely,
Wow.
remotely. You just communicate clearly what you want me to do, and I do it. Easy
Wow.
peasy.
Wow. Wow. You've explained it down to the basics, so even the toddler can understand.
I
If
hope
he,
so.
if the toddler intends to go into virtual assistant.
I hope so.
Okay, so can you take us back on how you began your journey as a virtual assistant? What inspired it? What challenges did you face early on? And what did those experiences teach you?
Okay, so I was in school. I went to Godfrey University. So it was in my final year. What inspired me, I know she's going to watch this. My best friend, her name is Miracle. At the time, Miracle was doing affiliate marketing, and we stay in the hostel. It's a private university. So majority of the students were in the hostel. So she was my roommate, and we had like other four in a room. So she was doing affiliate marketing at the time, and she was making money.
Wow.
And then she made us feel like
You
we
guys
don't know
are,
what we're doing. That we don't know how this life is
I
going to
can relate.
be. As long as you're not talking affiliate marketing, you're not ready. And then I felt because I was a year rep, this SUG
Yeah.
position in
School.
government schools. So in my school, it's called Cohort, Council of Honor.
Okay.
So in the Council of Honor, I was the speaker in my level.
Wow.
So I started that. I took on that responsibility in my 300 level. So till I graduated, I was the speaker. I was the one speaking for my level
Okay.
in terms of everything that needs clarification. If I need to meet the vice chancellor and all of it, so I was that. So and I did a whole lot of. I think I offended a whole lot of people because I'm someone that is strict. If I want something done, I want it done. Well, and because of that, when you are leading youths like you, they kind of feel offended when you tell them what to do, right?
Yes.
So I was stepping on toes. So coupled with my roommate, then one day I was sleeping, and then I woke up because we wake up very early. You need to leave the hostel at 7 a.m. So, and I just woke up. I think it was the Holy Spirit that woke me up at that time, but
Wow.
I do pray my midnight prayers too.
Wow.
And I'm like, Amarachi, I had to sit down. Is this what you want to do for your life? People will mock you. Like these people will mock you if you don't, if you are nothing. Because I was stepping on it,
Yeah.
it wasn't intentionally, but it's the fact that I needed something to get done. At the time, maybe I wasn't doing it well as I would have with the level of knowledge I have now. But as I then, I really stepped on toes. And I just took my phone. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm like, I went to Google and I said, list out online skills for me. And the first thing that came was virtual assistant. It was an ALX. They were offering an 8 weeks training. So anybody hearing, they still do ALX till tomorrow.
Wow.
So it's a training for virtual assistants and data analysts, financial, a lot of things. So I applied. It was a 1 hour. After apply, they gave us like an exam online, and it was like an hour exam. And I was praying, oh God, let me get through this. I didn't know what virtual assistant was as a then. But going through Google, I had to do research.
Okay.
Right? And with what I saw resonated with me because I love system. I love working on computers. Right from a very young age, my dad trained us with, this big desktop,
Yeah.
this old modern desktop.
Yeah.
So my dad, he didn't go to school, but he wanted all of us to be very educated, especially with system. And it wasn't rampant other then, but he bought it and then he brought in someone to tutor us. I now learned how to type very fast, and something can be happening to this pad, for example. I don't know what it is, but I know that I must provide a solution to. I must get to the bottom of it. So that was what interest, like, and I found out that I love system. So virtual assistant resonated. It's something that has to do with systems, and I love providing solutions.
Wow.
I hate being in a place where everything is just everybody is stressed. I don't like dwelling on problems. I love to find solution to problems.
Wow.
And I saw that as a virtual assistant, you are also a premium solution provider.
Yeah.
Because you're working for a client, issues are going to come up. And when those issues come up, you will have to provide solution because they run to you.
Yeah.
You are the virtual assistant. Like my boss always tells me that I am his advisor. Whatever happens, he always comes to me because he knows that, oh, and the good thing is, there is no advice I give that he doesn't take.
Wow.
So now let me go back to it. And I saw congratulations in my email. You have been enrolled into those cohorts. I was so excited.
And you felt like you have got
No, it's another I was doing my master's. So as a then, I was writing my final exams. I was writing my project. I wrote my thesis myself. So I was doing research, preparing for final exam. I was going through the 8 weeks ALX training. And there was this thing called the room. I don't know if it's still in ALX. It's called the room, where if you graduate with honors, they move you to the room where they give you opportunities to clients and everything. So I made up my mind that it doesn't matter, projects, thesis, final exams, I'm going to ace all of it. So that was my driving force because I wanted to be there. And guess what? I graduated with honors.
Wow.
And not just honors. Honors in both school, everything, I aced it.
Wow.
And you see, so now my driving force now is my best friend, Miracle, who is in affiliate marketing. And because I know that I am a very ambitious person that wants money, I don't want to be broke. It pushed me into the online space. And then because I don't want people to mock me, you carry school for head, it's not school you go end after all your gara. I told God I will never be poor. So that was what. So that was the driving force behind virtual assistant.
Wow, I'm very inspired, very very inspired by everything you said because I also share that drive of providing solutions, and I think there's a lot of things to learn from what you said. First you were very intentional about wanting to do something,
Yes.
not just sitting down and lazing around, and so you went online, and I believe there are actually many Nigerians that can relate to this because every information you need is available out there.
Yes.
For instance, I'll use myself when I started video editing because the Grow with Joe as a community started on YouTube.
Oh.
So before I started, I went through hours and hours of tutorials on how to create videos, edit videos, so many things. In fact, when you go into video editing, you know that there is a lot of work. You get to learn about SEO and the rest.
Yes.
But then I took out time to learn it, and I find out today that many of the things I learned from editing videos are actually useful today in the podcast, in other social media handles. And so when you are intentional, when you want something and you really go for it, you eventually get it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then another thing you said was towards the end is you said thank you record now.
Oh, you're gonna
Okay.
edit it.
when I remember. Okay, so the next question, many people take virtual assistant work as a side hustle. How do you help them see it as a legitimate business or career?
So now it's not me trying to help them see because everybody's path is different.
Okay.
So there are people that would want to still have their 9 to 5 and still do virtual assistant as a gig. Oh, that's fine. For me, I made up my mind right from time. I don't want to work 9 to 5. Having a clear goal also help you. When I got my first client, I was doing 9 to 5 because after service, the company I worked for retained me. Okay. So before I got my first client, I was still in the space. I think I went finally remote 6 months after I got my first client.
Okay.
So separating it is not necessary because everybody has different paths and different goals. So you can want to do your 9 to 5 and get these gigs on the side. Who doesn't like better thing?
Of course.
Especially now in Nigeria where having multiple stream of income is becoming a must
Yeah.
because you cannot depend on one. So having it as a side, and you would also need to know that working as a full-time virtual assistant, it's like a remote job, and you can freelance on the side. So when I say freelance on the side now is even as a full-time virtual assistant, as a full-time remote person, because now I'm working for a client full-time remote, right? I can do freelance gigs on the side, still the same virtual assistant that are just project based. Let's say 3 months, 2 weeks, 1 week, even 3 days, and I get that other income
Wow.
and still, so we, we shouldn't try to separate it.
Okay. So if I get you, are saying you don't necessarily need to see it as either a side gig
Yes.
or a full
Or
time.
a
So it
full-time
depends
thing.
on
It
you.
depends on you,
Depends on what
yes.
you want.
Depends on what you
Okay.
want.
Wow. Thank you so much for that answer. Can you become? Can anyone become a virtual assistant, or do I need to have a college degree, or do I need to take a special course?
Everybody can be a virtual assistant. I always tell people that come to me for advice, I said, in the virtual assistant space, no client asks you for your certificate. What they want is your experience and your knowledge. I've never worked with a client for over 10, 15 clients I've worked with. No one has asked me for my certificate.
Wow.
What they want to know is, are you capable of handling their task? Because your certificate can work in 9 to 5 space, but not in the virtual space. That's why, as a virtual assistant, you need to constantly upgrade your skills. Because, see, now we have a lot of AI tools
Of course.
coming around. So
Yeah.
you need to constantly upgrade. Because if you are someone who is static in the virtual space, oh, this is just the only, what is evolving? So if you don't upgrade, people will drop you and go with people that have upgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm lost. What's the question again? Trying to.
Um. Do I need to take a course?
Yes. So you don't need to take a course. Um, like a to get you can learn on YouTube. I know people that learned being a virtual assistant from YouTube. Me, I had to use ALX training because I did not know what it was all about. And that's why I'm also telling them that, oh, you can do ALX training. Almost everybody that comes, I'm like, do ALX training. But does it matter? No, you can decide to take up one or two stuff. If you want to do social media management as a virtual assistant, for example, use YouTube, use ChatGPT. And the thing is, let me say this, you don't necessarily need to know everything to become a virtual assistant.
Okay.
So you can take up one skill, offer your services on freelancing platforms,
Okay.
sell those services and get money. Most of the things I know today, I did not know them before working. I learned on the job.
Okay.
So you see where certificate does not come in, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you don't need to tell how. Oh my god, I'm watching out. It's funny, like the thing is amazing. I'm just thinking about it and it's amazing because you know how you get onboarded in a 9 to 5 in a new place,
Yeah.
right? If you're working for a client, they onboard you, they tell you how their business is. And at that time, if you don't have any idea, they would have already given you an insight. Oh, this is what I want you to do, this is what I want you to do. YouTube is your best teacher.
Of
Just
course.
go on YouTube. Do a lot of research, get what you want. You must not be perfect. And the thing is, working with clients, there are clients that are very, they just want to take it slow. Like my client will tell you, I'm not in a hurry. I just want, and as you're working, you are growing. You are growing. So to your question, you don't necessarily need a certificate. Virtual assistant, what is a virtual assistant? Handling emails, calendar management, scheduling. So there are different CRMs that you can schedule stuff for. Using Trello, so the only thing you need to do is upgrade your skills on these CRM platforms. So this Google, Zoom, Monday, there are so many platforms, Monday.com, Notion, Monday.com, there's Notion, there's Trello, there's ClickUp, a lot of it. The only thing you do is just take one skill, upgrade, Take one when you are, so that when you are done, you can sell it out.
Wow.
Just sell your services.
Wow. I really love how passionate you are about your job, and you've also let us know. I think it's not something that is rare information. We all know how difficult it is to survive in Nigeria and how you need to have multiple streams of income.
Income.
And then now she has made it clear that virtual assistant is not something you need to go to college for to get a degree or to go take an extra course. So you can basically just start from wherever you are, from whatever level you are, you just start from there and you keep growing.
Yes.
So now that you've helped us understand what virtual assistant is, and you also let us know that anybody can do it, can you take us back on how you're able to get your first clients?
Okay. Fiverr.
Fiverr. Okay.
So there are freelancing platforms where you sell your services. So I think the issue a lot of people are having is they have the skill, but they don't know where to sell their services. The first thing you come to me, oh, Amara, I have not made any money. I'm a virtual assistant. I'm asked which freelancing platform are you on? Because you need to know, you need to be in the right place where people can see you, where the right client can see you. So I got my first client on Fiverr. I was just there.
And the Holy Spirit picked you out.
I was just there and I just got a DM. Okay. It's just very funny. So, I said something about, sorry, I will have to explain something right now.
Okay.
I said something about a lot of people not knowing the right platform, right? So, after ALX, I was very lost. Because, okay, you've learned from ALX now, what next? It's not just having the idea,
Yeah.
what next? So, I didn't know. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to be a full time virtual assistant, but I didn't know where until in my place of work where I served, I was just having a conversation with one of the HRs, and I said, "Oh, I want to be a virtual assistant." We just got talking, and he said, "Oh, there's this person that he knows that is very good. Like she gets jobs on a daily, and she teaches." I'm like, "Please, I'm very interested in all." And I tell people this thing that to make money, you have to spend money. So when he told me, I reached out to her. I knew what I wanted. So when she told me her price, I was like, okay, let's do this. That was when she was now the person that opened my eyes to freelancing platforms. She made me open my Fiverr account, Upwork account, because there is Upwork. There's also LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So there are so many freelancing platforms. There's freelancing.com. So she was the person that made me. And there are a lot of people that are virtual assistants that have the skills but don't know what to do. So now this is me saying, open these freelancing profiles that you can sell your skills and then apply for jobs and get paid.
Wow. Thank you so much. You've answered us very, very, very nicely. So you've heard her. She said, what you need to do is to take yourself out there. I love what you said. If you want to make money, you need to spend money, and I think that's a challenge that many Nigerians would have because we want to get money, but want to get it free.
Free.
We want to give away. And if you are really in online space, you will know that if you want to really get top quality, you need to spend money.
Yes.
So, for instance, like what I'm doing, there are some apps that I need to pay subscription for in order for me to be able to get premium service. Yeah. So, if you really want to go into it full time, you need to. I'm not saying you have to just go from the start spending money, but at least you get to a point where you now sacrifice, because I think the Bible says in order to go up you have to give up. So you get to a point where you give up a little so that you can go up. Okay, so let me go to the next question. Can you tell us a little about your platform, that virtual assistant girl, and what value could it be to our audience?
Okay. So that virtual assistant girl is a space where I talk about virtual assistants. I give out, I share experiences, daily experiences for me on the space, right, where people can resonate with, especially people that are transitioning newly into the virtual assistant space. So it's like me giving you a guide, and I'm telling you, you are not alone.
Yeah.
It is a space where anytime, just let me know the questions you have, because when I started, I was alone. I felt really alone. Aside when I got mentored and coached by the person I learned from, her name is Ella. Aside that, I think after the learning process, I was, because you are working remotely, you are always in your space.
Yeah.
So I was always in my space. I was depressed at a point. It's not like I wasn't working. I was, but because I didn't have other people to talk to
Okay.
in the virtual assistant space. So sometimes I am confused, even with the YouTube, even with you need somebody to still guide
Yeah.
you, someone that has gone past that level you are.
Yes.
So even with that, so that was what prompted me. I'm like, there are a lot of people like me that are not going to have a rosy startup. This is me saying, oh, because if you check my YouTube, I have a YouTube channel and then also TikTok, right?
Yeah.
I don't just tell you, I give you like step by step process of, if there's anything I want to explain, I tell you, oh, this is how you do it with screen recording.
Okay.
So it guides you, it helps you. So the platform is basically to help people transitioning into the virtual assistant space. So that if you are confused, oh, reach out to me.
Okay.
Very available for
Wow.
you.
Yeah, I'm going to add a number of things, but first of all, I want to say thank you so much for creating a platform like that to help young aspiring persons, because it's something I myself experienced. Now, in this podcast, I started it way early, even before the breakup, right? But then I wasn't really doing it up to standard. But then I got to have a mentor, Mr. Tola. You know Mr. Tola Alabi.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's my mentor, and
As
then
long as you mention Alabi.
so I started listening to his podcast very often, and then one thing led to another, and I think it was on Instagram. We connected on Instagram, we exchanged contacts, and we started talking, and then he became my mentor. And so, getting personal mentorship from him now kind of
Guided you.
reinvigorated me to go back into this thing, because he's doing it. I'm seeing him doing it every day, and then I got inspired, and then look at where we are today. And
Yes.
so, if you are aspiring to be a virtual assistant, you already have someone here who is going to take you, on a personal journey, mentor you properly. Whatever questions you have, you just find her the correct spelling or the platform. I think I'll attach the name to
Yes,
this
please.
podcast,
Yeah.
yeah, so you can find her on TikTok and on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think every businessman or woman out there needs to be on the lookout for virtual assistants?
Of course.
Really?
Yes. See, business is time, right? And as a business owner, you would not want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out the little things that virtual assistants can help you do. So as VAs, we help you reduce stress. We help take out those little things out your plate so you can focus on your strategy, your execution, the bigger goals.
Okay.
So when I started working for my client, he said, oh, thank God I now have someone that can help. Because I don't just do emails for him, I handle the social media, a whole lot of things. I'm his executive virtual assistant.
Okay.
Right? So before, a lot of emails were being swept, a lot of meetings, because he cannot be doing what he's
Everything.
doing and be trying to check a lot. So as a business owner, there are calendars that follow ups, there are scheduled appointments that, oh, you can just tell your virtual assistant, oh, I have so and so meeting, something that ordinarily you will forget.
Yeah.
So but once you mention it, you don't need to mention it 2 times. What he does is like, I'm meeting this 12:30. What I do is we have a schedule, a calendar schedule. I just go there, put it in his calendar, and set a notification.
Okay.
So even prior before that time, I still go back to the calendar. I'm like, oh, we have so and so meeting.
Wow.
So not just the meeting phase, we help you, okay, like handling your social media now, for example, content creation. We help you bring you and your business in the online space. Because in this time and era, as a business person, you need visibility. So we, as virtual assistants, help give you that visibility.
Wow. Uh, Thank you so much for that. So you've actually opened my eyes to see that I myself need a virtual assistant, because now that
I
I think
am
about it, now that I think about it, it's so stressful handling social media platforms, coming up with the ideas for the
Yes.
podcast, and then also going after guest speakers. So I need someone to take off a lot of that
Your
burden.
VA can even help you source for guest speakers. That's the job. That's yes.
Wow.
Can help you source for guest speakers. There was a client I did a podcast for. I was handling. I was her podcast manager as well.
Wow.
So I helped her source for guest speakers, and not just because she's in Italy.
Okay.
So what I do after sourcing for guest speakers, you pitch to them. What she does is she wants you to invite her to come and give a talk on traveling. She's a very
Okay.
so you pitch to them. Oh, and if they see this is something that they invite her. So we help you source for guest speakers. We help you let them know this is it. Tell you, put it in your calendar. You see this thing that you were doing that you were stressed. You're not even supposed to stress because your VA would have told you so and so. This is the time, and the only thing you need to do is, oh, she's not here. Oh, sorry, sir, she's 10 minutes away.
So my own is
See,
to just come and
your
sit
own is
down.
just to sit down, get the questions
Wow.
ready,
Wow. So we're really moving into the era of smart work.
not hard work.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so how do you personally stay organized managing multiple clients? Are there any specific tools or systems that help you
Oh,
manage that?
yes, there are tools. So I mentioned Trello, for example. I use Trello to, put the tasks I want to do. So I also use Google Calendar. So now what Google Calendar does is helps me set reminders for the things I need to do. So if I'm working with like 2 to 3 clients, for example, because even as a virtual assistant, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
So in order to avoid that, putting yourself in that stressful and overwhelming situation, you use these tools. So I use Trello, I use Google Calendar, even for social media, Notion. You set up your content ahead of time. You can also use a buffer for social media to schedule your post. So what you do is you just do your content, edit your content, and put it there. If it's something that needs to go out in a year time, you don't even need to bother. It just goes out. So automations, right? These tools it gives you peace of mind, and you just get doing what you are doing.
Wow.
So there are so many tools out there. I believe I mentioned these things in the early stage when I started talking, that there are a lot of CRM tools that you need to get updated with all the time. It just, oh my God, there are so many.
Wow.
There are so many. There's ClickUp, there's Monday.com that helps you with project, especially if you're working with a team. So now you set up Monday.com and all your teams. You know how they set up this thing. So your team, all of you are in Monday.com, people are working. So what it does is, if I am the boss, I assign everyone their tasks, and then it's going to be on. There is this prompt. I wouldn't want to call them prompts that helps you say, oh, you are done with a task. Oh, not done with a task. This is the length the task is, and it just helps you stay organized.
Okay.
So ClickUp as well. These are tools that just keeps you.
Okay. Wow. So basically, what you're saying is, as a virtual assistant, you yourself need virtual assistants. So those apps
Tools.
are your virtual
Yes.
assistants as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So, what are the most common mistakes virtual assistants make when handling clients, and how do you think they can fix those errors or avoid making it altogether?
I would say communication is one, because you are working with people that don't know you.
Okay.
You are working with people that are in different parts of the world, right?
Yeah.
So when I started, I had a client that, so most of the things I'm saying is from experience.
Okay.
So I had a client that I wasn't, I still regret it to tomorrow. It's one of those, mistakes you make as you go. I wasn't fully giving her the details. So as a virtual assistant, what helps you bridge that gap between you and your client, so there is no miscommunication, there is no distrust? Because what helps you in this space is when your client trusts you.
Yeah.
And what gives them that trust is your level of communication.
Yeah.
So if as a VA you don't communicate, there is a problem. Because imagine you as a client, you gave me a task to do, and we both agreed on a deadline. And let's say the deadline is tomorrow. And now we are in tomorrow, you're asking me, oh, what's the update on this task? And I'm mute. You will be frustrated.
Of course.
very frustrated
Because your role is to take off that frustration from
from
you.
you. And now I am not communicating, probably because there's one issue or the other, right? I keep telling people that your clients are human beings. You might not just tell them, give them excuse all the time. Oh, because Nigerians are suffering with a lot of issues, lights, Wi-Fi, this, that. But try as much as you can not to have. Now, this is another thing. Why I've said communication now, right? Try to be great in communication. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. It's a big flaw in the VA space. I was on LinkedIn when I saw this client. He made a write up and he was so frustrated. He was like, he met a freelancer and they agreed that he didn't even argue the price. But this guy ghosted him. He paid like so. It is the frustration that brought him out on LinkedIn to write it.
Wow.
And because of that, a lot of people are no longer having trust. I have to trust you to be able to give you passwords. I have to trust you to be able to say, like, I also handle my boss credit cards. It's to shock you.
Wow.
That's the level of trust. But I made myself trustable. Another thing that a common mistake that VA do in this time and era is not knowing how to deliver on time. If a client gives you a deadline, you guys communicate on the deadline. Try to deliver. I always say over deliver. So, but you are not delivering, you are not communicating, and then maybe you not deliver like 2 weeks later. Nobody would want to do that. Trust you with anything anymore. So there are so, and also owning your mistake. I think one of the things that I have learned in the course of my virtual assistant journey is I take responsibility for my actions.
Okay.
So while working with a client, we are human beings. Mistakes there are some mistakes that are unavoidable. And when it happens, instead of you trying to let them know that, oh, you are so good at your job, oh, you can just apologize. It even helps them know, oh, this person is human.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was an oversight. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not like a constant thing, but it helps make them know that, oh, this person has my best interest at heart.
Wow.
You get. So.
Wow. What you said now actually resonates with what a previous speaker talked about. He's talked about doing business by connecting friends. And so what he does first
Yeah,
is to
the
build that trust.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think trust is actually very important no matter what business you are doing. So in order to avoid errors, common errors, the first thing you need to do is to build trust. Because when you have that trust, even when you make the error, your clients can overlook it because
Yes.
okay, I trust this person and I know that she won't let me down. Yeah. So how do you see looking ahead, what do you think the future of virtual assistant industry looks like, let's say in the next 5 or 10 years?
So the VA space is, like I said earlier, there are a lot of new things in the VA space. So it's not going anytime soon. I've heard a lot of people say there are a lot of virtual assistants. There are like 10,000 virtual assistants in the world. The virtual assistant is not going anywhere. Looking at what nobody expected the pandemic to happen.
Yeah.
So it was due to the pandemic that accelerated this remote work. It is not going anywhere. We are here to stay. The only thing that every VA needs to do is keep yourself updated with new things, new trends, new CRMs, new skills, especially. Because the thing is, okay, when AI came into the picture, a lot of people say AI have come to take over our jobs, this, that. But they forgot that AI is whatever you give it that it gives out. It just amplifies our knowledge. Because AI cannot just stay on its own and start telling you, oh, this. You would have to give it a prompt for it to give you something.
Yes.
So how would the virtual assistant has come to stay? I'm saying this with with every I don't know how to put it, but it is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As long as you're updating your skills, you are going to be relevant in the VA space. People keep complaining, I don't get clients, I don't do this, I don't do that. But clients don't fall from heaven. You need to play your part. right? Even if it falls from heaven, like it falls from heaven from me from the onset, you still need to do cold DMs. You still need to pitch yourself. You still need to send out proposals. So it's not going anywhere.
Wow.
Even as people are saying that, oh, email management is being outdated, calendar this because AIs are this, AI are that. Oh no, you still need VAs in the world.
Speaking on this issue of AI, there's something I've come to realize, and I think it was from my mentor. I think it was the one that said it. AI is a productive tool, not a creative tool.
Yes.
So we as humans, we are the creative part, of the work. Then AI is the productive part.
Yes.
So if you are not, if the job you are doing is not a creative work, that's when you become scared of AI.
AI.
You understand? If maybe your job is to just come and should I say arrange papers, schedule meeting, AI can easily do that, and
Yes.
so you can be easily
Yes.
replaceable. But let's say your job is on a more high end, like even graphic design, AI can do that. But there are some creative aspect of
Of
graphic design
design
that
that.
AI cannot do. AI needs you to prompt it.
Yes.
And for you to actually know that prompt, you need to actually be a graphic designer. You have to have experience in order for you to be
Exactly.
ask AI to do that. So if you are not a creative, then that's when you have reason to be scared of,
Yeah.
AI. Let's talk about African freelancers, especially Nigerians. How can they position themselves to compete and earn globally?
To compete and earn globally, I'm an African freelancer now, right? I'm an
Yeah.
African virtual assistant. So there is this thing that I do. Okay, that I currently started to do is optimizing the profile because in order to be you in that global space where clients, in fact, the thing is most, I wouldn't say most, some clients prefer to work with Africans.
Okay.
Some clients prefer to work with Nigerians because we are hardworking. Oh.
Yeah.
I have seen it firsthand, and I can tell you for a fact that we give in our best in what we do. So they come to us knowing that, and in fact, they know we want the money.
I would do anything to get it.
I have seen, oh my God, see, working in this virtual assistant space has really made me see a lot of things. The, you are um, trying to recruit people for a job because I'm also doing recruitment
Okay.
in the VA space as well. So whenever I'm trying to recruit for my boss. These people don't even read the application thingy. They just signed this thing. They don't even. And then when you contact them, let's just say you contact them, you want to get to know about them. Oh, did I apply for that? Oh, sorry, I'm no longer interested. So, but in order to compete in the global space, like I said, relevance is key.
Okay.
Relevance is key because you cannot be competing in a global space with limited knowledge.
Yeah. Very true.
Majority of these guys out there are exposed in the sense that, because they understand a lot of things, and also I'm trying to learn this accent, this whole thing, because it is stressing me. So in order, okay, and as well as learning languages. Oh, I'm not a language person.
Okay.
But there are jobs, in fact, there are jobs that I'm getting briefs on Fiverr that is limited to countries, like
Okay.
certain countries. If you don't know French, if you don't know this, if you don't know that. So as a Nigerian, if you can learn the language, please do. It will help you. Because I have a colleague now in the VA space that even that teaches English to what's this, to Ukraine, to Ukrainians right now.
Okay.
So even with what we do, even as, because they don't know how to speak English, so they need you
Yeah.
to help them. So learn, help yourself learn languages. Even if it is English, be good at it, be good at what you do. There are people that will pay you huge money to teach them. So just one thing I would mention is go online, check for skills that are in the space right now that are paying a lot of money right now. Not just necessarily the money, but are in-demand skills.
Okay.
If it's something that you don't have, learn it. No, that's one thing my mentor always tells me. Oh, Amara, see, there's this new stuff that is out, this new skill that people are looking for, and they're paying like 3K dollars. 5K dollars. And
To
she's like,
motivate you.
I'm telling you, she's like, go and learn it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn it during the weekend because the weekdays I'm busy. I'm going to learn it during the. And as you're learning it, you are meeting because it's always going to come out. There are things that you don't know.
Yeah.
They're always coming out newly in the world. And you need to keep yourself abreast with those things, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys are always coming up with new technology. In fact, I think that is it. They're always coming up with new technology. So in order to do that, and another thing with Nigerians, I would say, don't have Nigerian mentality. One of the things killing us today is when things come out, we label those things as devil, a lot of the
Satanic.
66, satanic.
I remember when they labeled COVID as
You know,
this,
even 5G, this 5G that we are looking for now in places.
I'm telling you.
There was, when it came out, we were like, oh, they're going to give you marking with the
And
code.
it's amazing because you are having people even in high places, high authorities speaking against this thing. And
But
today
now,
now it's sought after.
like, you know, now if I go to a place and there's no 5G, I'm frustrated because I need it to work.
I actually experienced 5G for the first time. I was like, what? I was seeing 400 and something MB per second.
Oh God.
You can imagine uploading a video at 400 MB per second. That is like, you can have like 4 gig in 2 seconds. So, and this was something they were speaking boldly
In
against.
love.
From what you said, I'm going to add a little. You said, in order to compete globally, you need to be constantly improving.
Yes.
You're going to be constantly learning new
New
skills,
skills as they
become
come.
adaptable. Because many of these applications sometimes they get outdated.
Yes, they do.
Platforms to get outdated. So in order for you to stay relevant, you need to be up to date with what is
Trending.
what is going on. You need to be valuable, and that's what I want to add. When you are constantly working on improving yourself, constantly working on being valuable, you don't really need to stress about
Yeah.
clients because they will come to find you themselves.
Referrals. People
Referrals.
will refer you because you're doing great job, so they'll keep referring you and they
Yeah.
keep coming.
When you make a client happy, he'll tell his friends, and that is the best advertising.
That's the
You
best.
can't-
The
you
word
can't-
of
you can't
mouth.
advertise better than that. Yeah.
Word of mouth is the greatest advertising tool we have.
Honestly. Okay. On a more personal note, what habits or daily routines help you stay focused?
So for me, is building structures for myself. When you are working full-time remote, a lot of things can go wrong. You can become so comfortable that okay. Of recent, I've been talking about stepping out of your comfort zone. I've been talking about it because I experienced it firsthand and it was draining. So you become so if you don't have structures in place for you, you are going to just fall into anything. So when I started as a full-time VA, I told myself that because you are working, you are seeing your bed.
I'm telling you.
You are
2 seconds away.
a lot of things, and then you can because you are always at home, you can eat 100 times a day. It's something that has a way of affecting your productivity.
Yeah.
Because once you keep getting full, you want to sleep, you are tired, and all of it. So I set structures for myself. I had a mental shift. I had to sit down. I said, Amarachi, this place you are going into, you need to plan. So I don't just I wake up at different time interval. There's a time for meditation. Oh, it helps me plan what I want to do ahead of time, right? I try to wake up early because once you are up early, a lot of things just go in place. Anytime I wake up late, just forget it. Everything is going to be just going zigzagly. So personally, I try to first of all the mental stuff I told you about. Then I try to wake up early. I actually stopped doing exercise for a long time, but then exercises because you're always going to be at home. So now when you were doing that, it helps you think better. It gives you fresh ideas because staying at home all the time is it's stressful.
Yeah. It can become boring.
Exactly, very. And because I have experienced working with the structures I have set and just being lazy. I choose to work with the structure. So personally, I set up structure.
Yeah, I can actually relate to that because me personally, I also have structures that help me stay productive. And the very first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to make my bed. And I found out that any day it's very difficult for me not to make my bed these days. But any day I wake up and I don't make my bed first, it's kind of like the whole day
Disorganizes.
becomes disorganized. And so I might come back home and just feel like, oh, this day was a waste because just one tiny act have set in
Yes.
motion chaos all through the
Yes.
day. And
Yeah.
so once you have structures in place,
Structures.
you don't have to bother about staying productive because it just works, like a time clock.
Yes.
Everything just goes hand in hand.
Just set structure. Systems. Know what works for you and set it up for yourself.
Okay, so if you could travel back in time to meet your younger self, maybe that version of you just starting out, unsure of what the future might hold, what would you say to her? What advice would you give to the younger Amarachi?
First of all, I would tell Amarachi to calm down. I'm a very I'm a perfectionist. And because of that, I tend not to start things that I'm supposed to start because is this light? You see, when I came, I was already telling you,
Yeah.
already in that. So I would say, calm down, and everything must not be perfect for you. Start where you are. So now this is me telling Amarachi that as you grow, lines start to fall into place for you. It's not going to always be so organized, but just start doing it. Me, I always want to see something before I do something. But what I would tell me is don't see, you don't need to be ready, just do it. Because at the point of being ready, how ready enough do you think you can get? Because the truth is, you cannot be ready enough. If you want to start creating content, for example, you will tell yourself, oh, I'm not ready enough because I don't have tripod. I'm not ready enough because I don't have light. And there is one thing I notice. When you have all those things, you are still never ready.
You actually don't have the idea.
So I'm telling me, you don't need to figure it out at the goal. Just start at where you are.
Wow, that's very amazing advice. It's something that I use in my life every day. I don't wait for things to be ready before I set out. I set out and then I
Yes.
make things ready
Yes.
because things will never be ready.
Never.
You will never get to a point in your life where you have everything you need.
Never.
In fact, what happens when you actually have everything you need is that you become lazy.
Very.
But when you are working towards getting, each of these things that you need, to become creative. You start thinking of how can I do this, how can I get this, and it's actually more fun. It's more entertaining when you actually strive, to get it done. When everything is just
Yes.
provided for
So
you.
if you go to my TikTok, like the down you old videos, you're gonna see that I was using one rubber pink table. So this was me starting where, and then later I don't know what happened. I started thinking about my environment. I'm like, oh, this table safe, oh this, and I'm like, okay, let me do something on the wall. I stopped creating content for almost 3 months because I was looking at the things that normally I don't look at. And I was waiting for it to be perfect. I changed my table to something wonderful. I did the background. Do you know, even after doing the background, 1 month later, I've still not done anything.
You see, because when you have everything ready, it's actually, should I say, you have an idea. Idea. There's a language they call it now. It's like you become blank. But when you are striving for it, you
For
get
it, you
ideas.
get clarity.
You can't imagine how much ideas I get when each time I sit down, I think, oh, I actually need, like right now, I need good microphones. So you start thinking of how can I get this, how can I get this, and it makes your brain start working over
Yeah.
time. But when you have these things, you just sit down and be like, let's go and watch Netflix first before I come and do this one. You see, so abundance is actually a
Yes, it's
problem.
a problem.
Yeah.
It is.
So as we wrap up this episode, I would love to know what's the one book that has truly changed your life or shaped the way you see work, and what piece of advice would you leave for the younger generation, especially those passionate about freelancing and building global careers.
So let me take it one time. One book for me is The Psychology of Money. Oh God, everybody
Oh
needs
my
to read that
God, I've
book.
read that book. I actually read that book recently. I was like, I'm definitely reading this book again.
The Psychology of Money changed my mindset. I am a very spontaneous person. I spend recklessly. I realized that last year I didn't save, oh God, 1 naira from all the money I made. A lot of things were in place. So when I read that book, a lot of things, it stirred so many things in me.
Honestly.
And if you've not read, please read The Psychology of Money. Oh my God. For the next and younger generations, I will tell you, I'm still in that young generation anyway, but I'll say that take life at a step, right? And like I said earlier, get, okay, I don't think I said this, but let me say, get a mentor. You cannot do life without a mentor.
Honestly.
See, there is, because what a mentor helps you is they've gone through the mistakes, through everything, and they are where they are today. So they help you avoid those things. Please get a mentor. There is something. There's a video I recently posted about how I got a new client just recently on Fiverr. So I've been doing it. So Fiverr changed a lot of things that they started giving out briefs. So they connect you to a brief when a client needs a VA, a social media manager, a graphic designer. So because your profile says you are a VA, Fiverr connects you on that brief.
Okay.
So I was sending my proposals on the brief wrongly. Until one of the meetings, I now told her, I said, Ella, this is what I've been passing through. She said, oh, you're doing it the wrong way. This is how to do. And the first time I did it, I got the job.
Wow.
So imagine I don't have anybody. I keep doing it. That way, I would just be where I am. So get a mentor. You cannot do life alone. This life is too big to do it alone.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see, I want to comment on the psychology of money because that book really helped my life. I'm telling you, because the same experience you said was the same experience I was having. And so what I did, let me start by saying what the book said. It said you don't really need to increase your income in order to build wealth. All you need to do is to, start with what you have. Set a cap on your
Yes.
expenses, set a fixed amount for savings, and then just work with that. You don't need to get to earn higher. And if you really read that book from start to finish, you will see that it's something that is feasible. And
Yeah.
so after reading that book, what I did was I decided I would cut my income by half. So when I receive my income, what I do is I just reimagine that half of it is what my income is, and the remaining half I put it straight into the stock market. So it's it's not something you can easily get out.
Yes.
When you put money in the stock market, you can't easily take it out. Even if you want to take it out, you need time. You need to
Yes.
set buy order. You need some days for the order to process, and then even after it has come, so you just need a lot of time. So when the money is far out of reach like that, you don't think about it. In
Yes.
fact, when you think about the stress and then think about the taxes you have to pay each time you sell a stock, it dissuades you from.
So we're actually going to have a talk on this stock market because I love investments. Oh, we're gonna.
So that's one thing I learned from the book, from the psychology. So I would definitely recommend that you read that book. And then on the issue of mentorship, I cannot really emphasize how important mentorship has, the role it has played in my life this year. Every day when I listen to Mr. Tola's podcast, I would chat him up and say, "Sir, you don't know how glad I am to have you in my life." Like each time I just think about you, I feel so confident of the future because I know I'm going somewhere. Having someone like you. So when you have a mentor, they help you see life from the forward part. It's like let's say you want to run a race, and then someone has run that race and then come back to hold your
Yes.
hand. So
Yes.
it helps you avoid the
Those-
pitfalls, helps you
exactly.
avoid
Exactly.
obstacles, and then your journey just becomes smooth. They have
They've
fallen into
gone
the pitfalls for you. They have encountered the obstacles, so they just show you the right
the
way,
right
and
path.
it becomes easy.
Easy.
So you should do well to have a mentor. And there are so many ways to get a mentor. For me, is I listen to podcasts a lot, and so that was how I was able to find my mentor. And so you can go out for conferences. I think at the African Creators Conference they were talking about this issue of
Yes.
mentorship.
Yes.
So you can actually go out and then you get to hear someone, the way he speaks, it just resonates with you. And that person can become a mentor. It can
Yeah.
be maybe someone who does the same work you're doing. Maybe you're a tailor, and then you see someone online who does things the way you want to do it. So you can just connect with them personally, and then
Yeah.
mentorship actually has to be personal. You don't follow somebody on Instagram, maybe like, comment, and say that's your mentor. That's not mentorship. You have to have a personal relationship with the person. The person has to know what's going on in your life. Then you can go to the person, because there are times
When
when I will have like sad experiences or just challenges in my life, and I just need to talk to somebody. And it's, it's just so
glad you
glad
have.
I have someone like that. Someone that no matter what question you bring, he'll
Yes.
be able to give you deep
Exactly.
insight. Yeah. So thank you so much, Amarachi, for really taking your time to
Thank you
spend
for having
with
me.
us, and for sharing your journey, for sharing your story, for sharing your heart. You really poured out your heart to us today. We're really glad to have you. And to everyone listening, I think um, the most important point we've established today is, in this digital age, to establish success is no longer about working hard or working smart. It's actually about building systems, building structures
Yes.
that helps you deliver value no matter where you are in the world. And so if you really want to be relevant, if you want to stay relevant, you have to go beyond working hard or working smart, because AI is working smart now. So you have to build structures,
So
that
yes,
helps you to keep staying consistent. No matter the value you are delivering, keep delivering it
consistency
consistently.
is key.
Yeah. So for members of our audience who might want to connect with you, to get to explore the virtual assistant space, how do they find you?
Okay, so on YouTube, that virtual assistant girl.
Okay.
On Instagram, virtual assistant girly. I think virtual assistant girl.
Okay.
But I would still check again so you can,
Okay.
and then also on Instagram too, that virtual assistant girl.
Okay. Okay. So all of the links will be attached to the description of
Yeah.
this podcast section. So thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you for
It's
having
really
me.
been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.